So this bald guy and his lesbian wife used to actually have a voice to the public. He used to be one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform, and now he is oftentimes mocked. And if he were laying on the side of the street in front of a Circle K asking for $1, you'd be like, yeah, sounds about right.
Cringe couple has gone broke.
Okay, so here's the fucking deal.
We're poor.
To say at the age of 30.
How is it possible, legit, like this is a question that I'm seriously dying to have answered, that a man, okay, who amassed 7 million subscribers and over hundreds of millions of views on YouTube and was talked about by PewDiePie, is known about by every single person, and somehow his wife still ended up doing OnlyFans to get money. How are they broke? Because not only were you like on top of the world at one point, which yielded you some money, your wife also was able to make some bread off of OF, so I don't understand how they're poor. That doesn't make sense to me. Financial illiteracy, that might be the case, but I think even the most like Beetlejuice level literate person knows not to like blow millions of dollars, because, you know, it just isn't the smartest thing.
32, I've acquired empathy.
You know, it's not a crack house, it's a crack home. They got that USB plug in the corner. They can't even afford podcast equipment. It looks like they're sitting in Asmongold's jizz-stained basement.
We're poor.
Newsflash, we're poor.
Dude, it's funny because Hassan LARPs is being poor and voicing for the middle class, when in reality, iDubbbz and someone who is like supposed to be this famous, like Hassan, is actually poor. It's hilarious to see the juxtaposition.
That's why we're in the basement for a third or fourth week in a row. I'm poor.
There's this Canadian idea called karma, and iDubbbz is sort of reaping what he was sowing.
They just suck because I attracted a lot of people who suck. Some people were, as I described earlier, were very much like antisocial, weird, basement dwellers.
Empathy, I definitely have that.
Like, I feel bad for iDubbbz. He genuinely has no funny bone left in his body.
That's true. And how is he ever gonna say on the Anthony Padilla show that a lot of his fans were antisocial weirdos, when the most antisocial thing I think I've witnessed in my entire life is him going on camera and saying that it took him 30 years to acquire empathy? You do understand that people that say slurs, the slurs that you're so sorry for saying, don't actually mean it and don't actually hate the people who the slurs are targeted at. They actually have the empathy thing that you're saying took you 30 years to get. So who's really antisocial? I don't get that.
Like, the slurs were doing the heavy lifting, and iDubbbz is not a fan of heavy lifting.
I thought we'd be able to get out of here by now.
Their situation is so dire that even I have acquired empathy, and others as well. This rich Jewish guy even offered to buy out Creator Clash, their failed boxing event, and offered to buy their house. Like, can you even blame them? You guys are sitting on the floor using like VCR cables from the 60s, and then you can't even make it up. Their video disconnected.
Weird.
Oh, really?
No, the reason it's doing that is because this cable
Yeah.
is very finicky, very sensitive.
Oh, so the cable, like...
Yeah. Oh, it just takes
unplugged.
one of the dumb dogs.
This is truly a sad sight, and if you want to...
I hate poor people. And I hate that this is like, it makes me cringe to see poor people shit like this. Like, the cable stops working, okay? Holy fuck. It's like, get it together. You know what I'm saying? There's something very ugly about this level of technological literacy being on display by people who were raised on the fucking internet. Did my camera just die? Honey, can you plug in the antenna? I don't know if we're getting service. Can you turn on a phone hotspot? God damn, bro, you're a fucking YouTuber. How do you not know how to do this? You understand that there's people who are living in poverty that are streaming to an audience of 5 people that have a better setup than you do? I should rephrase it. I don't hate poor people. I hate people who are fucking retarded. And oftentimes, the retarded people end up doing shit because they're retarded that poor people do because they're poor.
Avoid being in the same predicament. Grab your phone right now, scan this QR code, and
That's true. WSJet for being sponsored by Free Cash. They hooked me up.
then to make matters worse, his wife starts talking about Hassan's body hair and how sexy and muscular he is.
There's no
Much
way.
body hair, okay, and facial hair. His name is Hassan,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And he said that America deserves 9/11.
9/11!
You're
This is a cucking ritual. You go to hell for doing this. You have to answer after you lose your life as to why you did this. You are sitting on the floor next to your wife, and your wife is talking about how there's this cute guy named Hassan, and he's got all this body hair. Dude, oh my god. Oh, yo, I'm taking a long drive and I'm never coming back home. Like, if this is me personally, it's over. Holy, and he's laughing, bro. He's literally laughing. You're the butt of the joke, bro. This is what happens when you're making fun of someone and they don't realize that you're laughing at them, not with them. And it's even worse because it's not even like, oh yeah, I'm just laughing at Ian because his breath smells bad. It's like I'm laughing at Ian because I find a man that he's collaborated with far more sexually arousing than him. Laughing my ass off at that one.
Laughing at a 9/11 joke. Where's the empathy you were gloating about earlier?
Dog would die in a film, and I'd cry.
You know, I think this would be a great time to show your empathy, but I digress. And this ain't even about the nature of the joke.
Oh, true, yeah. He's like dying of laughter because Hassan said that America deserved 9/11 when it's like, that's fine, but saying the N-word isn't fine. Very arbitrary.
Joke. You know, I don't care. Make jokes about anything you want. This is about hypocrisy and how just cornball this dude is.
Some people
Yeah.
might not find this funny, but somebody posted, Timbits or like donut holes on Twitter and was like, what do you guys call these? And Prezzo said what he called them, which I'm not going to repeat.
Right.
It had 9/11 in it.
This is just straight up slander to my favorite Indian restaurant, Tim Hortons. All right. Put your pitchforks away. I'm Canadian, so I'm allowed to make these jokes.
And the F slur and some
Right. Okay.
he was like, I call
He looks so uncomfortable. He's like, should I be here? Should I be like laughing at this? But on the real, let's pause for a second. How did this goober go broke? He literally had 1.5 billion views. A conservative estimate is like $2 or $3 million.
Let's see that one. Let's see, 1 billion views. Yeah.
And you know, unless all of his videos were demonetized,
Yeah, it's gonna be about like $3 million. Probably more. Yeah.
then unlucky, I guess.
He had no reason to end up broke. Like you should see the views he was
Oh, yeah,
getting. He
true.
was on top of the world as far as like YouTube.
And this was pre-demonetization. Like, this was the fucking gold rush of YouTube. This is when PewDiePie was doing the Nazi shit. This is when iDubbbz was saying the N-word. This is when Leafy was bullying autistic children. You could make money off of doing the most repulsive shit you can imagine. Shit that if you did in school, you get expelled. You did on YouTube, you get fucking paid. You get put in $1 million mansion. And he was making a shitload of money from it. How do you fumble this? How? Because it's not just the money, it's everything else. It's the legacy. Because you can go broke, and if you have a good enough legacy, people won't care because you influenced enough people with your content and you made them feel happy. You distracted them from their otherwise monotonous and meaningless life where they're trying to stretch a paycheck for an entire like 2-month period because their home is getting foreclosed and it's been rough on them. But they opened up YouTube and saw you playing with a dildo and screaming the N-word. They thought that was kind of funny because they can't do that and no one else can do that. And the fact that you're getting paid from that is actually kind of funny. It shows kind of this remarkable beauty of the American nation, right? And then you squander this all away to be a fucking cuck. Good shit, dude. That's awesome.
goes.
Well, he was too edgy to make money, and now he's too dumb to make money.
And for no particular
true. That's actually the most like concisely and accurate way of putting his entire career. Yeah, he was too edgy to make money for the long run. Obviously, after demonetization happened, and then he couldn't find a way to like.
reason, I'm not gonna question Ethan's ability to make money. He could probably buy me and enslave me in his basement, and even that basement would have a better microphone setup.
He did like one merch run when he did
The sheep.
the sheep,
Mhm.
and
yeah.
he got lucky because he was edgy. And we all thought that was funny at the time.
Right.
But now edgy
I still
isn't
do
that
think
funny.
it's fun. No, I don't agree with that at all. Dude, Edgy's made a comeback, and if you don't see that, you're in a bubble. If you're not on Instagram Reels, you're clearly not understanding this. And respectfully, Edgy's made one of the biggest comebacks of all time. Like, the past 2 or 3 years, Edgy's shown that it has staying power. Because Andrew Tate blew up on TikTok saying women need to be in the kitchen. And then you have, like, the Instagram Reels inception, where you have all these videos of Peter Griffin screaming the N-word overlaid on Minecraft jumping gameplay. And so if you don't think that, like, Edgy is in, you are just not paying attention. iDubbbz could have killed it on Instagram today. Old iDubbbz clips, I could see them going viral again if he wasn't known to be the guy who got fucking, pussy whipped this hard.
I beg to disagree. Dark humor's like water.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everybody gets it. Okay, let's assume iDubbbz is fully broke, but his wife is literally a sex worker. Like, isn't the whole point of that to cash a bag and retire
Yeah, true.
early?
My girlfriend started an OnlyFans account.
Again, it's not a crack.
Yeah, shouldn't that be printing? Like, I don't understand if you're gonna do that and not make any money. I can't say that I know that it's not, but from what they're saying, it sounds like it isn't. And also, I would imagine would be a very funny world that we live in where she's losing subs because of the Ethan Klein drama. Imagine that. That's where they draw the line. Yeah, I was gonna goon, but I can't. I was gonna goon to you, but then you You started attacking Ethan Klein, okay? You're supporting Hamas Piker. These are things that when I do stroke it, I can't do it. Okay, my wrist refuses. The mind-muscle connection, no, it's not as strong.
House, it's a crack home.
And I think all of it is cool.
What do you want him to know? I was cool at some point.
I'll give the floor to Pegasus here. He asked a very valid question.
And I really just, I'm very curious to know their finances, because how much did Anissa actually make from her OnlyFans? Because I was under the impression, people do this, like iDubbbz and Anissa were actually doing this so they could make a substantial amount of money, so they would never have to, resort to anything in their lives. That's like one of the main justifications for OnlyFans. Oh, I'll make a couple $1 million, then I never have to work for the rest of my life. But it seems like for Anissa, she made like $100, and
yeah, it's actually so sad, especially when you contrast that to someone who's like, Bad Baby. The moment she turned 18, didn't she literally make $1 million in one night? Listen, that's not good, but let's just say it just shows proof of concept. Like, if she can do it, how can you not do it? Like, you're much older, you're much wiser. Actually, maybe much older is not a big benefit in terms of looks, but the reality is, how do you not make at least $1 million over the course of 3 or 4 years or 5 years doing this? That's crazy. Because like $1 million over 5 years, what's the math on that? 200K a year. 200K a year is like 20 G's a month, less than that, right? Slightly less than that. I don't know. Regardless, it's not that crazy, especially in that space, to be making that kind of money. And I'm a little surprised to hear that they're financially struggling, especially with that being the safety net.
and just left it.
These suckers took all their money, and now they can't even afford a house anymore, and they are living in a basement. Like, I genuinely feel sorry for this guy. And then they start talking about whether or not slurs are funny or not.
Yeah.
It can be funny. You just have to walk the line.
You have to walk the line, and, you got to be willing to admit that it might not be funny to everyone.
Yeah.
This dude's pushing 40, and he just now had that epiphany. It's like an Andrew Schultz moment.
I'm more allowed to use cracker than Hassan is, though.
Yes.
Yeah, true, because you're actually white. Okay, people think Hassan's white. That's a whole other thing. But he's like, we'll put a question mark there. I wouldn't call him I certainly would not say that when White Boy Summer is having the annual reunion at Lake Michigan, he's not invited.
I think he has to become more mean to me online. You have to be more
What?
mean.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
Because like in private, he's so mean to me.
People here were speculating that she's setting up the building blocks, brick by brick, setting up for...
He is white? Okay, but he's not my kind of white. Like, he's not like skateboarding, Call of Duty gamer, punching drywall, sneaking alcohol out of the liquor cabinet, sorta. That's my kind of way. Like Blink 182, Fall Out Boy. That's, he's not really that. He's no. Acheeto, that is white. Yeah, that's what that means. Like, I'm not gonna, bro, because like, yes, okay, racially you can be white, but I think that there's too many white people that they're white, but like only in their race. Like in every other aspect of their identity, they're barely fucking white. Okay, it's kind of crazy. They don't do anything white. Okay, they talk black in a lot of cases. They don't listen to like the OG white boy anthems. They don't even play like FPS game. What are we doing here? What are we actually talking about when we say White Boy Summer if we're gonna just let anybody into the fold? Wiggers. Yeah, I mean, someone had to say it.
A divorce.
Breadcrumbs. She's getting ready to leave his ass.
It reminds me of the meme. It's like, why is my husband yelling? And there's a hotline. And it's like, why is my wife yelling and feeling unheard?
It's more like when I'm low energy. You know what I mean? And I've had enough of her shit.
Anyway, this bearded bandit was also on the podcast with iDubbbz, and Ethan Klein kind of went off.
Had a plot and it had characters and things were.
This bro is literally a fucking real life dwarf. Like, look at him. He literally looks like Gimli.
He does.
What's up, bro? Why don't you go mine some mithril?
Maybe I'm cooked in the head, but Ethan Klein's been kind of popping off lately. He's been kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's guilty by
anything
association.
He probably is nice. I'm only making fun of you because you're with them. Don't worry. It's not personal.
You cannot tell a man to go mine mithril and then say it's not personal.
Yeah, you just can't do that. You cannot tell someone that they look like a dwarf and they need to hit the fucking coal mine and then say, no, it's just jokes.
Dog. Anyway, the video I covered today was uploaded to YouTube recently, and it's apparently something that came from their Patreon. Ethan is no longer living rent-free in their heads. He's the landlord.
Oh,
if
no.
Ethan were to buy iDubbbz's house and convert it into a boxing gym, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Fansly. Not to be a dick, but this is a sorry
Oh my god, that's why she's not making money, dude. Because OnlyFans, I think, is like owned by Israel or something like that. There's like an Israeli business owner, I believe. And so they're not gooning because there's a genocide going on. I guess there's a goonocide going on. That makes sense.
Site, like, can you at least get a chair? Like, chairs and tables aren't that expensive. Boot up Facebook Marketplace, get a chair for $20 or something.
If my husband calls me an ugly bitch with an enlarged, but yeah, no, you could say literally probably anything to me. Well, not literally anything.
Sticks and stones may break my bones. Statement.
He's getting $150 per month.
Here, maximum damage.
That's not it.
So they're making $700 a month, which is why they're doing it from Anissa's mom's basement.
Okay, is this guy fucking special in the head? Because how on earth do you have 7 million subscribers and this is the max you're getting? I'm sorry to say it, but this is far below the poverty line. And you're splitting this 2 ways or 3 ways, right? So you're splitting $600. We'll call it $700 2 ways. That's like $350 a pop. And then what's the other one?
$100.
Okay, $150. So that's $75 2 ways. So you're looking at like 400, we'll do combined. So it's about $900 both ways. That is below the poverty line. That is not sustainable. And I know that he has multiple sources of income, but if this is the main thing that he's spending time doing and not making YouTube videos, because I haven't seen his videos, I only see the content cop and the follow-up, I really don't know how he's taking home, filling up the piggy bank. How is he filling up the piggy bank? I don't get it. By what metric is a person this famous supposed to be making this little? How is this okay? Maybe in Africa, but I don't think that's where he lives. I could be wrong, though. Maybe he moved.
$50 per month.
Here, maximum damage.
That's not it.
So they're making $700 a
Keep in mind, Ian made 754K views on his main channel this month alone. That's terrible. That's actually awful. 754K views. Okay, I'm not even in my prime right now, not even close. I made 2 million views like in the last 30 days, which is like, that's not even good to me. Like that's like mid. So if that's mid to me and I'm a fucking nobody, how is this possible? I don't get it.
month. Which is why.
And I know this is all pocket watching, and at the end of the day, he's probably fine, and this is none of my business, but it's more of a thing where I don't understand it, right? And it intrigues me to see something like this be possible in front of my own eyes. Because if you had told me when I was younger that the person who I watched every day would have undergone this much of a fucking fall off, I wouldn't have believed you. So a lot of this is watching in disbelief. It's like a shocking thing that I can't take my eyes off because I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
They're doing.
It's like when people watch conspiracy theories. It's like a giant conspiracy theory. I'm trying to piece it all together, and I'm having trouble doing so.
It from Anissa's mom's basement.
Man, I feel kind of bad. I looked at their podcast views, and it's not looking good. Barely cracking even 10K views on most of these videos. Maximum damage. The only damage here is the damage you've done to your bank account and reputation. But, as a socialist, I think the rich should pay, and Ethan should, at least send him some charity. Maybe like a folding table from Walmart. So, items is...
Bro, how are you a nobody when you have 500K subs on YouTube? Because the reality is a lot of those subs came at a time where I was covering stuff that's far different than I do now. So the majority of the subscriber is like the subscriber count is kind of just dead subs. And I also think that subs on YouTube don't matter as much anymore anyway because of like shorts and the growth of YouTube overall. Like when a platform gets bigger, the value of a sub on the platform decreases. There's an inverse relationship there between the growth and the value of the sub. And then also, like I said, the implementation of shorts and stuff like that, very different. And again, I was doing videos when I was 18, 17 years old that were just complete slop. And I still make slop, but like completely devoid of any personality. So like now I can get on a camera and talk about shit that I'm like somewhat interested in. And even if I'm not interested, I can make it interesting. I can find an angle to where I can talk about it in a way that I find interesting and hopefully interest the viewers. Whereas when I was doing this like 3 or 4 years, no, yeah, it would have been 4 years ago, I was completely doing it. But hey, Dream, this is my 10th video this week about Dream and how someone on Twitter said that he's homophobic, and I'm going to make the obvious position that he's not homophobic, and I'm going to attack something that's the most easily attackable position ever to appeal to a very, low common denominator audience, or highest common denominator audience. It's super easy. And so, yeah, most of my subs are like from eras that I want nothing to do with, right? And even if they still watch me, then it's cool, and people who have been through everything, I have nothing but thanks toward them, but, I don't think I'm a nobody because I've been like recognized in person, and I think you have to achieve something to get there. But at the end of the day, I probably have not reached my peak yet because I haven't put as much effort into this as I should be. And once I do, I know that it works. Like the moment I started streaming and I started popping off and really putting things into motion, I saw an immediate growth. And so it shows me that if I work, it pays off. But A lot of this is like trying to balance like 20 things at once, because I'm doing so much shit besides YouTube that no one knows about, that's like business related and like lifestyle stuff that I'm doing. You know, YouTube, whether like how much of a priority I put on it really depends on how I'm feeling. So yeah.
Broke and now lives in his wife's parents' basement. How the mighty have fallen.
Basement dwellers.
Divorced in less than a year. Mark this comment. She took everything from him. His fans, his clout, his friends, his dignity, his self-worth. And now all of his money is gone as well. He has nothing left for her to take. She has completely broken him.
Like, feel for other people's pain and suffering.
The irony of calling his fans basement dwellers and now being reduced to one himself. When your number one op has this much monetary power over you, I'd be embarrassed to even show my face online. I'd be, you know, out there hustling, getting my money up. Idubbbz went from discovering empathy to farming sympathy to pay his rent and make a little extra cash. $672 a month, that's a lot of money if you're in Pakistan.
Legal reasons, that's a joke.
Idubbbz' life is genuinely a series of unfortunate events, and he keeps digging his hole deeper. People love to blame Anissa for all of it, but honestly, he sort of did it to himself. And just to make it abundantly clear, even though I woke up at 7 a.m. to talk about these random people I've never met, I'm not parasocial. I'm just doing this for money, guys. Take my word for it, please. I'm just very, very
Poor.
These two people don't work.
Can you not drop the W slur like that? What the f***?
Oh my god, dude, this whole jobless and the whole unemployed thing, that's like my favorite, and my favorite new internet advent. It's the best thing ever. That job is a slur. I love it. The J slur.
Wrong with you.
And whatever money they had saved up, I'm pretty sure they lost a substantial... Somebody bankrolled that shit.
But unfortunately, we ran out of time for today's video.
This fucking WestJet guy, huh? Yeah, I mean, he's really a bag chaser, because half this video is talking about how Idubbbz is broke, and then he inserts a fucking ad for like a minute of the video. Oh man, he really got his cheese. I can't hate though. That's my boy WestJet right there.